So we're in the deep end of self essence, the essence of ourselves. And our self is energy.
Mm.
Energy we can see the result of other people's energies. And if we speak about awareness, we're very aware of other people. Not so much are we self aware or aware of our own energy. That requires feeling. And we all feel, I assume. I assume we all feel. And so to help put, like for us to observe, to see, or to feel, we put words around it. And so this morning we're putting the words of self, time, and space. Self as the energy, it's the changing of energy. That's what we are aware of.
Mm.
And the self's energy is in here, and there's out there energy. So we have an inner, authentic, and we have an outer or an external conditioning. And it's like, oh, to be aware of which one is running our lives, which one is controlling our energy, which one are we choosing, or which one are we reacting to. That is about the self's energy. And
Mm.
when we can label that, name it, identify it, then we go to the time of what is and what could be. Time of what is and what could be. You'll see of what is the present. We're not looking to the past because the past is already included in the present.
Mm.
And if you think it's the only time we can feel is in the present moment, you can think about the future, but you're feeling it right now. You can think about the past, but you can only feel it right now. And so that's what is. And then what could be is into the future. So we're a structure of where we are, naming it, calling it. And then we're looking at, well, where could it go? That's directing our energy. That's creating intentions. That is flowing our energy to where, what it could be. And that creates space. And then in the space, what we're aware of is the charge. Charges can be contracting and they can be expanding. They can be positive, they can be negative, they can be right, they can be wrong, they can be good, they can be bad. And then there's one always in between.
Mm.
That's That is what we're aware of when we look at other people and when we look at ourself as self-awareness. Anyway, that's what we've discussed so far this morning. So the words have been self and choice. The self as in here truth, or an external conditioning. That's the self. The 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 time is past, present, and future. What is and what could be. And then the space includes all of those. And the best, like the one place to look for space to start with space is to observe or be aware of the charge, the energy's charge. And so like the great, like where do I position myself? It's like, with our inner truth in the present moment, neutral. There's our formula for success.
Mm. Also, the formula to get to Will's word, peace.
Mm,
Peace is in the present. It's not the future or the past.
that's right. I'm sorry, I missed the word peace.
We just wrote it.
Mm,
That's a great goal to have. Peace
right.
is in present. PP, present peace.
Yes. All the P words, peace, power, presence, purpose, prosperity, are all in the present.
Yeah.
Now, the world didn't condition us for that, that's for sure.
Nope. They didn't even teach us really about the present, that the present is constantly in motion, which means the future and past is always also in constant motion. One is
Mm-hmm.
moving closer and the other is moving further away.
Mm-hmm. That's right. But the thing is both of them will be present moments.
Yeah, they can only exist in the present.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it were tomorrow, then it wouldn't be tomorrow, then it would be present. Time is a funny thing.
That definitely is conditioned in us.
How you can have 1 hour and you can have two people. One of them just sitting there staring at the clock, and another one creating a painting or something. And the one painting said, "Is the hour already up?" And the other one will say, "Oh, the hour is finally up." Because he's just been looking at the clock, waiting for the hour to pass.
Sometimes that hour goes fast and sometimes it goes slow.
Yeah.
Sometimes that hour is overwhelming and sometimes that hour is energetic, exciting. It's like, oh, Now what we're doing is just experiencing the time of our life.
Hmm. Yeah.
And some people call that life, call it living. And guaranteed it will be up and it will be down.
That's the natural way of a frequency. It first goes up, and then it crosses zero, and then it goes down, and then it goes up again. And it's funny when people write about a timeline, they always make a straight line. Like life would ever go that way.
We do expect it. We do want it. It's like, wouldn't it be better if I didn't have the ups and downs? Like we think that. I've thought that.
Yeah, but I found that it's the ups and downs that teaches us on the road to the goal.
I've had to learn that one too, Heinz.
Yeah, I found that, but it took me some time to also realize that the you to get the experience, even if it's good or bad, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
That's how we get to the neutral experience of it all.
Yep. And neutral doesn't mean you don't care. Neutral isn't indifference.
No,
It's just not attached.
you like that one. No attachments, no charges. I also realized to get to the neutral, you often have to go through extreme charges of whatever you are looking for.
Yeah.
It's that like and dislike, and as soon as you find out, well, what if we just tune it in the middle? Then
Mm,
it's just there.
yeah. Yeah. Well, the edges, right? The attachments, the charges, that's what causes the wobbles.
Yeah. And 12th word for today is energy. Hmm.
Mine is more rest.
Rest, rest. Oh, you must think first. You said more rest. It sounded like one word, not more and rest.
Mm.
So I was just gonna figure out the word. More rest. Yeah. Sometimes we need to rest.
Now we have self, choice, peace, energy, and rest.
And rest is a good way for alignment, alignment of the body.
And rest is a great way to be conscious of self.
Ooh,
Mm.
like that.
It gives the opportunity for a taste and roll.
I can barely hear you, Allison.
Sorry. I said rest gives the opportunity for the awareness.
Mhm. And rejuvenation as well. Just as I said the word rejuvenation, it separated itself from, or separated the individual who's resting to not rejuvenate on all of the external stuff. And rejuvenation is a time to declutter the soul and not by the effort of throwing things out, but by the energy of just zooming in on the isness of self. Such a good exploration this morning, and it never surprises me anymore that the reading that I was doing prior to coming on was injected exactly at the needle point of what you all were talking about. I was spending some time with the four core, and I don't know if you all are familiar with, was it Tricia Becker? One of her main things is true choice.
Mm.
And she's taken a piece of Chris Duncan's work and she's really zoomed in on that area. And I came across it this morning and I was like, this is what is speaking to me. And it was mentioned here again this morning how we're just not taught about how powerful we are and how to use our power for peace and for love and for creation and appreciation. And I heard in myself saying the best way I can be the best for my children is for them to see me living a life I love.
Yep. Leading by example.
Mm-hmm. And I think of all, I'm thinking through the archives of time that I was, and through this other work I'm doing with PQ, there was a span session of activity of self-empathy, empathy for self, for others and circumstances. And I had to have a layover in empathy for self, because I really came to identify that there was no lesson there, no conscious awareness of knowing to love self. People say, oh, take care of yourself. And you do, you get up every day, you wash yourself, you brush your teeth, that was it. Like, take care of yourself so you're presentable, but not how to take care of your inner self, to grow your inner self, to be familiar with your own true choices and desire. Now my dad, it was a great example of cultivating, like seeing a gift in me. Like, I showed interest in photography. He went out and brought me like 3 cameras. So it was taught from that perspective. Like, it was like the exterior was kind of there to support whatever they thought they saw in me, where and as and how they could. But for someone to sit with me and teach me to go inward, to know myself, that's not something we really teach.
Nope, it's a new thing in the Western world.
And so I didn't know my power either. And I didn't know, I'm like Little Red Riding Hood. And when the wolves came around, I was just like, they picked off my energy. And I'm like, oh, here, you can have a biscuit. Oh, you're hungry, you can have this. Oh, giving in love, but not knowing how to take care and harness the energy of my love for myself, and how to manage it with others and it not be selfish, considered selfish even by me. So I was looking at this work, and it's like, her work speaks to the depths of my work, is for people to love themselves and to know their energy and not miss it. Like, you said, it's just come here to the Western world, and not miss it for such long spans of time, like 40 years out of your life, 50 years out of your life, 60 years out of your life. And then you come to say, I want to know who I am. And I was having a conversation with my daughter, and the baby, and I was listening to some other stuff too. The baby boomers the 50, 60, 70-year-olds now, it is such a huge population of individual living where people live in a singular cell pod. So many people live by themselves. I was going somewhere with that.
What came to mind for me, Sundar, when you said so many people live by themselves, and the concluding sentence in my head was without knowing who they're living with.
Mm.
Mm, mm. And how lonely is that?
That's really lonely.
She said, in is it Japan, that many of the seniors will commit a crime so they can go to prison and have community.
I saw that as well.
And I was thinking where I live, I'm like, this place does not offer community. Like they don't stimulate community. Like it's you know, a neighborhood, like you come into this neighborhood, but they collect HOA fees, but they don't do anything to stimulate community. Like have the biggest event where you see people who live here is when we go to pick up our parking passes. But they don't create community like activity or community day, where people, come out on their lawns, or they could have a white elephant sale so people can put things out on their yards that they want to either give away or sell or share, you know. I'm like, that's really, really missing here. Like I bother my neighbor every day, call and check on him, see how he's doing or whatever. But if I didn't know him, I wouldn't know that it was okay to bother him and know that it's not a bother. Oh, I know where that came from. So there is a lot of technology evolving that's already in play. I mean, we do it with Zoom already. Um, People go to the doctor, health programs. Um, but gonna people are creating companion bots. We already got it with Alexa.
Mhm.
We're having conversation with technology that replicates emotional intelligence communications. And I was like, like, how much more we're human beings, how much more how are we evolving as existences?
So I can replace you with a machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
As if that's going to do something better for me.
I think it's going to decentralize our emotional capacity. They say, like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Mhm.
It'll take the humanity out of humans.
What it is, what it could be, you bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it band-aids it.
Mhm.
And you know how Romeo wasn't supposed to be with Juliet. Families will exist. Well, why are you with a human being?
Which is the importance of awareness
Mhm.
before it's too late.
Mhm.
Because they'll just become disguised ads.
But I think that, and I just have to, uh, my faith is that the human capacity of the heart of how we are created, that you can't, like a volcano, you can't suppress the energy but for so long.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I don't think you can replace it.
No, I know you can't replace it. And I came to another conclusion that it's making it even more important that we do the work that we do so people can stay elevated and giving people a place and a way to stay elevated in their human consciousness.
Mm.
That's why we come here. Iron sharpens iron.
Creating possibilities and perspective together
Yes.
and staying true to our humanity, listening to our heart.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, learning how.
Learning how to be human.
Mm-hmm.
To oneself.
Authentic rather than conditioned.
Mm.
That's a book right there. Learning how to be human. And that's self-love, right? That's a big chapter of it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like that's where to get to. And first is just allowing it, allowing the possibility. What if? What could it be?
And it's okay, you don't know.
Mhm.
Then you got a possibility to figure it out.
Yeah.
Fill it out and take
Yeah.
opportunity for it, right?
Yeah.
Explore.
All have positive charges.
Mm.
And that's all you need to know is if it's a positive charge, it is in the right direction. You don't need to know any more than that. Too many of us are trapped in the restrictive, limited, destructive conditioning.
Hmm. So I just got to say, 90% of the time, when I get on this call, there's a theme song running in the background of my head. And it's the Coca-Cola song. I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. It's the real thing.
I didn't know that Coca-Cola song.
Isn't it Coca-Cola?
Oh, they have a lot of songs. I remember one, was it in the 90s? It actually came out on a small single. First Time, was it called? I believe Coca-Cola makes a new song each year.
This one showed like people connecting arm in arm all over the world and everybody singing.
Mm.
It was a real kumbaya, we are the world kind of song. I'm gonna have to
But I
pull
do
that up.
believe it is a Coca-Cola because you said it's the real thing. That's normally with Coke that says it's a real Coke.
Yeah. Well, I guess they can't play that anymore. So I feel like the most important thing that I can take away is that I stay true to me. I evolve my truth. That is me. And also be aware and respect and appreciate other people's evolutions of themselves. whatever their truth is for them, and still stay neutral and be at peace with neutral, being neutral.
Mm.
Aware of oneself and allowing another to be theirs.
Mm.
Not accepting. You don't have to go there, just allowing.
That's how the world gets along with each other.
That's tolerance, united together. That's how it is. It doesn't have to be accepting. Accepting's a strong word, a strong place.
It's a one shoe fits all.
Mhm. And we can get there. We can get to accepting, right? It's just people, a lot of people have to get to allowing first.
Mm.
That's the importance of neutral, right? If we're going to go from angry, or if we're going to go from a negative charge to a positive charge. So if we see negativity in our life and we want positive, we have to go through neutral.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just slingshotting back and forth between the edges, the extremes, the positive and negative. You just oscillate back and forth.
Mm. That's chaotic, right?
That's right. That's chaos. That's the wobble.
Mm.
It's control and out of control, control, out of control, love, hate. I mean, it's all the opposites. Our world, we are just full of opposites. It is how we make meaning, but it's how we attach to those opposites. That's the real truth.
Point.
Well, take your self-love, self-care, self-awareness to the world.
Yeah, it's been a really expanding day today.
Mm.
You all have a blessed day.
Thanks,
Thank
Hein.
you so much, everybody.
Peace and love.
Thanks all.
Love and hugs. Bye bye.
Bye.